Good morning, everyone. Let's talk. after after Sunday's game, my video kind of blew up, and I usually don't read all those comments because they get crazy. People that don't know me, people that think I'm out there just yelling at game and then yelling at my wife and yelling at my kids or whatever. But people who are actually at my chat, we have a real good time. There's very little yelling and screaming and stuff going on until after the game, and then I make my after game video. Now, with this, I can only speak for me in this entire video. I can only speak for me and what this loss did to me, and it brought a lot of deja vu. It brought that feeling on me, and that's why the calm down. It's just a lost crowd. It's getting kind of annoying this week. Even my boy Brian Broaddus, he joined that crowd when someone tweeted that it looked like the same old Cowboys, and he replied, the same old fans bitching about a loss, which was like, it was crass to me. And it seems like this guy, I used to do podcasts with him way back in the day before he joined the Cowboys, but it just seems like the same people have captured his body, that the same sunshine pumpers that grabbed his body that has had Mickey Spagnola captive for the last 20 years. It's like that, and they forcing these people to pump sunshine into the Dallas Cowboys fan base. But let me ask you something about this. Do you think a football coach of a successful football team walks into the locker room after a loss and say, guys, we can't win them all. If we didn't have those turnovers, we would have won this one. It's just a bump in the road, guys. Don't worry about it. No successful coach in the history of coaching will ever walk into the locker room and say that to his players after a loss. And we, as fans, have a certain responsibility to the organization. If we don't hold, the coach holds the players accountable. If we don't hold our organization accountable, then who will? So stop yelling at people and stop getting mad at people when they're like upset that we've been going 24 years and we're seeing, some of us is seeing the same old things until we get some good results. So every loss is not the same loss, okay? And sometimes I don't even get really mad at losses. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It's just every loss is different. And some losses, bring up emotions. And in my opinion, this one brought some strange similarities to losses over the Jason Garrett era, all right? Now, first of all, this was a team loss. I know a lot of people would like saying the defense played good. No, they really didn't. The defense did hold them to 12 points, but that wasn't the goal of the Sean Payton offense versus us. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to hold the ball, and they held the ball for like 36 minutes, which is ridiculous. They was trying to matriculate the ball down the field and maybe put up a field goal, hopefully get a touchdown. But their main goal was keeping the ball out of our offensive hands. They protected their defense. That's what I've been yelling about. We have the offense to protect our defense and make our defense much better. They protected their defense because their defense wasn't out there that much. And when they were out there, they were able to be extremely active and make some plays and shut us down quickly. And then also our offense handled a whole bunch of 3 and outs. So to the offense, this what I'm about to say is not fact. It's just, again, what I see. It's just what's been going on in my head since I saw that game the other day. Back when we had Tony Romo, teams would load the box and shut down our running game and force Romo to get rid of the ball quickly. The wide receivers had no time to separate. Tony had to do his best to extend the play and was mainly forced to throw the ball into traffic. And we blamed everything during those days. We blamed Doug Free. I can't remember all the other offensive line, but we blamed all members of the offensive line. We blamed our running backs. We blamed our wide receivers for not being able to gain separation. And some people even blame Romo. You fast forward that to today. Now, today, we have the best offensive line in the league, at least the best running offensive line, in my opinion, the best running offensive line in the league. We have possibly the best running back in the league. We have a legit a straight up legit number one wide receiver that runs all the routes, full route tree, and one of the best wide receiver cores we've had in a good while. And we have a quarterback who's a pretty decent quarterback who honestly only made one really bad throw, and that was that throw in the end zone to Cobb that Cobb couldn't actually get to. But all the other passes was good, except for that, the Hail Mary, and that was, whatever at that point. So I saw the same things happening to this roster that I saw happening to that roster. So in my mind, that has to be nothing but scheme. You know what I'm saying? So Kellen Moore, this brings me to Kellen Moore. I've said this many times. I wasn't with that hire at all. I thought we needed someone with more experience, yada, yada, yada. And it wasn't because of Kellen. And people over the time have made me like Kellen more and more and more, telling him about his background, telling him he's always wanted to be coach and all that kind of stuff. And I even gave Kellen a game ball after the Miami game because of the halftime adjustments that we never saw, and we actually saw halftime adjustments in that game. But this is why I wasn't with the hire. During the Jason Garrett era, there's been a numerous amount of scapegoats. Almost after every year, there's a scapegoat. That's somebody that the organization picks out and blames all our problems on that one person. And as long as we get rid of that one person, everything is going to change. And last year, it was Scott Linehan's turn to be the scapegoat. No, I do not like Scott Linehan. Never liked Scott Linehan. But Scott Linehan was not running his own play designs. These were Jason Garrett's play designs. When we fired him and hired Moore, my thinking was, it's still going to be the same offense. It doesn't matter who calls the plays if the plays don't work. So, so that's why during this game in my chat comment section of my chat, most people were like, Kellen Moore grabbed Linehan's playbook, or Moore looks just like Linehan. And this is why that happened, in my opinion. It doesn't matter. They were running the same general playbook, the same general play designs. So even though we have a better roster now than we did in the Romo days, when we face a competent opponent or a competent coach, we're suspect to lose. So now my expectations for this team they've severely shifted, because it looks like the guy that told Broadus, it looks like the same old Cowboys with a much better cast. So it's going to be real hard for Kellen Moore, because now the blueprint is out there. And I think they're using it more and more and more. The blueprint that the Colts made, the Rams made, the blueprint is out there to beat the Cowboys. And teams that can actually execute that blueprint, all teams can't. I don't expect the Giants to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect the Jets to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to roll over those teams. But teams with a coach and teams with a defense like New England Patriots, yada, 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 they're going to be able to execute that same blueprint. So all I got to say, and only thing is in my mind right now as we move forward to Green Bay, is Jason Garrett, please prove me wrong, because I don't think your offense works. I think it generates yards against bad defenses, but does not work versus good teams and good coaching. Versus good teams back in the day, it was all on Tony Romo's shoulders to make something happen. And then now it's all on Dak to make something happen, to force something, to force the ball into end zone somehow, outside of what the play designs are. So again, prove me wrong. We have the roster. Prove to me that your offense, Jason Garrett, can have success versus good coaching and good teams. And that's all I got to say. Because outside of that, then we got to make a change in that area. We just really do. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.